I am A.K. Jha, PGT Biology. Today I am going to explain the central nervous system of neural system. Central nervous system include brain and spinal cord. So we study central nervous system CNS. It includes brain and spinal cord. Today I am going to discuss about the brain. Then we discuss a spinal cord later. So first of all, brain. Brain is the central controlling and regulating center of our body, which is situated in brain box or cranium. Brain box is also called cranium, which is situated in our skull. In that portion of our skull, there is a bony cavity which is called brain box or cranium, inside which our brain is situated. Brain is protected inside the brain box by two membranes together with a fluid. The membrane together with fluid is called meninges. The outermost covering of brain is called dura mater and inner covering is called pia mater. Between the dura mater and pia mater there is a fluid which is called cerebrospinal fluid. Two membranes together with fluid protect the brain from external injuries and shocks. So brain is protected inside the brain box in cranium by two membranes and a fluid. These together called meninges. Now human brain is divided into three parts, which are forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain consists of three parts: cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It is divided into two parts by a fissure. Cerebrum is divided into two parts by a median fissure, and two parts are called cerebral hemisphere. That means cerebrum is made up of two cerebral hemispheres. Then thalamus is the coordinating center of our body, and hypothalamus. We discuss the functions of these three parts of forebrain, that is cerebrum, thalamus and hypothalamus, one by one. Cerebrum is the main site of intelligence, memory, thought and muscular movements. Thalamus is the coordinating center between body and brain, and hypothalamus is the regulating center of our endocrine system, that is chemical control. Hypothalamus secretes the releasing factor. It may call hormone or hormone of releasing factor. The hormones secreted by hypothalamus is called releasing factor. This releasing factor coordinate the chemical coordination, that is hormonal system. Hypothalamus secretes several releasing factors which stimulate different endocrine glands, just like pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, isolate of Langerhans. These all glands are ultimately controlled by hypothalamus. For example, our metabolism of our body is controlled by a hormone of thyroid, which is called thyroxine. Thyroxine hormone is secreted by thyroid gland, which is present in our neck region, but thyroid gland secretes thyroxine when thyroid gland is stimulated by a hormone of pituitary, which is called thyroid stimulating hormone. That means the thyroid stimulating hormone of pituitary stimulates thyroid gland, then thyroid gland secretes thyroxine, and then thyroxine controls the metabolism of our body. But when pituitary secretes thyroid stimulating hormone, when pituitary is activated by the hormone of hypothalamus, that is thyroid hormone releasing factor secreted by hypothalamus, and it goes to the pituitary, then pituitary is stimulated and pituitary secretes thyroid stimulating hormone. Now this thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates thyroid gland, then thyroid gland secretes thyroxine, and thyroxine controls the metabolism of our body. That means hypothalamus is the controlling center of endocrine system. Now midbrain is mainly made up of four lobe-like structure, which is called corpora quadrigemina. Four lobes of corpora quadrigemina. A central canal passes from midbrain, which is called cerebral equator. Midbrain is the main site of balancing. Our body is balanced by midbrain. It regulates the posture of our body, that is sitting, standing, sleeping. These postures are controlled by midbrain. Another function of midbrain is to control our body temperature. Body temperature is also controlled by midbrain. In some organisms, midbrain is the main site of vision. That means midbrain made up of optic lobes. But in human, there are no optic lobes. It consists of only corpora quadrigemina, four lobes, and these lobes helps in balancing of our body, regulating temperature of our body, and maintaining the posture of our body. Next is hindbrain. So hindbrain consists of three parts, which are pons, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. Pons and cerebellum acts as like an assistance of cerebrum, that is cerebral hemisphere, and helps in muscular complex movement of our internal organs or visceral organs. It helps, that means it acts like an assistant of cerebrum. Cerebellum is the part of hindbrain and cerebrum is the part of forebrain. So cerebrum, that is cerebral hemisphere, and cerebellum both together works in muscular complex movement. And medulla oblongata is the last part of the brain, which emerges like a duct or tube and continues to the spinal cord. Medulla oblongata becomes narrow and passes from our neck region, goes in the ribs, then it is called a spinal cord. That means a spinal cord arises from medulla oblongata. Once again, I repeat, the different parts of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain consists of cerebrum, that is cerebral hemisphere, thalamus and hypothalamus. Midbrain mainly consists of corpora, quadrigemina, four lobes, and hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. The functions of cerebrum is the main site of thought, intelligence, memory, etc. Thalamus is the main controlling center between brain and our body. It communicates between our body, different organs of the body and brain. And hypothalamus is the main center of chemical control, that is endocrine system. Midbrain is mainly concerned with balancing of our body, regulate the posture of our body, maintaining the temperature of our body. Hindbrain, pons, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Pons and cerebellum together helps in muscular complex movement, and medulla oblongata becomes narrow and forms the spinal cord, and spinal cord helps in the reflex action. So in next class we study the figure of brain, and then we study a spinal cord and the reflex action which are controlled by a spinal cord in next class.